Mama.
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 You want to say hi?
Mama.
Say hi.
Here's Mama. Hi guys.
Hey.
Hey. It's been a while, and I thought it would be fun to do a Q&A
Hi, Dad.
and just update you with everything that's going on. It's a Sunday
Hey,
night.
later.
If you feel the tripod shake, if you see the tripod shaking,
It's Elliot.
it's Elliot. No, 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 no. No, no, no. Elliot.
Okay.
I want to take a picture of what he's doing because he looks like a little cameraman.
Take a picture and then insert it.
Here, maybe just put him on your lap. Come sit on our laps. That one can break. Okay.
I know, I'm sorry.
At Krista Vlogs wants to know, will you be going to any more YouTube conventions in the future? Sure, why not?
I don't think I were
We're not
opposed to it.
opposed to it. We've just been...
Mom.
Like, we're supposed to go to CVX this year, but it's just too close to my due date. So we're not opposed. Sure, why not?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Doesn't seem like we're cool enough anymore, you know? We're just not the cool kids.
It's all right. Everybody else can have a turn, and if you guys want us to go, then tell the people that put the conventions on, and we'll definitely go.
Yes, this was a good one. At Marina asks, how do you and Jackson get through arguments / disagreements? How to keep the honeymoon phase?
Argue. Yeah. You okay, buddy?
Go get your binky.
Can you ride your horsey?
Go get
Can
your
you go ride your
binky.
horsey?
Okay, how do we get through arguments / disagreements? How to keep the honeymoon phase? I think it's called the honeymoon phase for a reason, because you go through it and you appreciate it, but then it doesn't last forever. And I don't mean that rude, it's just reality. Like,
I don't think that you want to be in the honeymoon phase forever, because you want to go through the ups and downs and the trials. And you want to go through fights and stuff because you get closer and you learn more about them. And so to answer the question about the fighting, it's really about pulling magnets right off the fridge and throwing them all over the kitchen. It's about communication, I think, and when we fight, it's just forcing us to sit down and go through, like talk it through, calmly, and not screaming at each other.
I feel like we've you have to get to know how your partner fights. Like, Jackson has learned sometimes I need just like some space to cool down. When we first were married, you didn't understand that. You're like, no, we're gonna solve this, we're gonna fix this right now. And I wasn't in, like, that's not how I function. So I feel like I've had to learn, I can't take as long as I would want. I don't think that's also healthy either. But I think the biggest thing with fighting is you have to be willing to compromise, and you have to be willing to work on yourself. And like, I think that being able to admit when you're wrong, even if you're not, Jackson's really good at that, is helpful. Because it's hard to stay mad at somebody when they're like, I'm sorry, like, I want to work on this, you know?
And we're back in action.
Look at this picture of this dog and this cow.
They look the same.
At Sophia Berlin 1 asks, on a scale of 1 to 10, on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you to see Elliot be a big brother? I'm at an 11. How do you think he'll act around the new baby?
He gets jealous.
Yeah, he's a daddy's boy. Like, if Jackson's around, he wants nothing to do with me. But if Jackson's around and I'm holding someone else's baby, he doesn't do well. He's like,
It's gonna be a learning curve for him, but it'll be fun. I'm excited because I loved playing with my little sister when I was a kid.
Yeah, you guys are almost as close as they'll be.
Coop plays Fortnite and rides a bike, and then Elliot plays with Tonka trucks. So it'll be fun to watch the two younger ones play. They'll always have someone to play with.
I think Elliot has it's not a regret, but the only thing is he's not even like really old enough to understand. Like, I try to point to my belly and tell him there's a baby in there. So when we say, where's the baby? He'll point to his belly and like touch his belly. And we've been like getting baby stuff ready, and he thinks that all of her stuff is just naturally his stuff, which, hello, is understandable. So I think there's gonna be a learning curve for a while for him, and he's just gonna kind of be like, whoa, what is going on?
It'll be fun though. He'll adapt. He loves like puppies and
yeah,
like little babies, and so I think he'll have a good time.
If you have any tips on how to introduce your children, I know there's tips on introducing your dogs to your baby. If you have tips for us for introducing your babies. Kellen Britt asks, how did you guys meet?
Blind date. Just kidding.
Kind of was.
Twitter.
Good old Twitter.
We became friends on there and then started texting and haven't stopped talking since.
Biggest regret. I'm just kidding. That was funny, guys. That was funny. What? How can you regret this? Face is so cute.
My beard.
I like your beard. Okay, this is a good one. At Berlina, I could be saying that wrong. What are your biggest differences at the way you look at life?
Yeah, you go first.
I think, do you think our answers are the same?
I don't know. I'll tell you if you say what I'm thinking.
I was gonna say spiritually. Kind of a big one.
That's not what I was gonna say.
No, what were you gonna say? Something light?
I was gonna say I look at everything logically.
Emotionally?
No. I'm just... Okay, you go and then I'll go.
I guess it plays into like that though, because I feel like since I am more emotional, I think that might just be women in general, and I'm not generalizing women are emotional. I just think that like, I know I'm a more emotional person, so I go off of a lot of the way I'm feeling about things. You're very more logical, thought out, methodical process. I have to like feel something to know.
I used to be very emotional, and it's like been in the last like 2 years that I've like switched. I don't know why.
I think it can be a really good thing and a really bad thing, but I think that's why we make a really good balance, because there's times where I feel like I'm over emotional and you really like help logically bring me back down to earth, and sometimes I feel like I help you see like the softer side of things.
I honestly think it was when we found out we were pregnant with Elliot, I was like, oh crap.
It made you more logical?
I gotta like, yeah, like I kind of became like more stoic, like I took things way more serious, because it was not because it wasn't like that with Cooper, but he wasn't like a newborn. Like I'd never done that before, so it was like trying to take things serious, and like my business grew, and like so we don't fight about it really though.
No,
we don't really fight about anything.
Like sometimes it's hard because you like the more you get to know somebody, like you think you have these, like I thought you were more spiritual when we were dating. You didn't act more spiritual, but I had in mind that you were a more spiritual person, which I've learned in relationships the worst thing you can do is have expectations, because that's just not, I don't think that's healthy.
Well, also I think that people change, and if you don't change, like if you were the exact same person that I married and you hadn't like changed at all over 10 years, I'd be worried about you. Like you're not growing, or you're not changing your opinion, or like so everybody will always change and be different, and it's just like
our baby's crying in the background.
I better go get him.
Cooper!
It's just like you need to do that, and when your wife or your husband or your boyfriend or your girlfriend or whoever does that, instead of hating them for it, like that's their journey that they have, and you gotta love them. I don't know. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Also, the way we keep the house, we definitely see differently. I'd eye on that. I'm just kidding. I'm just a crazy person when it comes to the house. Okay, let's move on to something lighter. Ellie Mae asks, how do you deal with the pressure of being the perfect couple? You both seem to cherish the love you have for one another. Any advice for newlyweds? We're so perfect. We never fight. I think the one thing I can pride us on, and maybe this comes from Jackson having a job outside of YouTube, I'm actually so grateful for that, because I wanted that for sure in a marriage, and even like when I was dating Jackson, I love that he had his thing that made him him, because I think that brings a balance to YouTube. I think it's really easy to get caught up in it, and you start to read into comments, and I think sometimes comments start to get to us, but I think at the end of the day, like I've come to realize I'm never gonna be like the biggest YouTuber, have millions of subscribers, and that was my goal starting out when I did YouTube. But now, like looking back, I'm just grateful for these video journals that we have of our times together and of our family, and I'm grateful that I've been able to make somewhat of an income and a life out of it. And so I think that keeps us kind of like humbled and just real in a way, like messy bun and just not caring.
I think it's crazy that people look at us and think we're a perfect couple, because when you like pull the layers back, it's like I'm totally screwed up, everybody's totally screwed up, and like not really, but like viewers and people that follow know like this much.
Yeah.
And even like your own friends, like you know like just a little bit. And so of course we have to present like this image, right? And there are things that we would never share because they're like, we're not going to share when we fight or what we worry about or like family drama or...
I think that pressure comes with YouTube, and that's sometimes where I think people can go wrong, is feeling that obligation of having to share certain things. There's definitely moments where we've both been like, okay, turn the camera off. Like, this is just needs to be for us. And that's just for anything you do. Like, that's like in life, like you need to have something that is intimate between you and your spouse. Whether that's information or trials you've gone through or just things that you're dealing with. Sometimes I feel like getting too many people involved, like even like your mom or your mother-in-law or whatever, there's things that you have to work through intimately as a couple that you have for just you. And I think that with YouTube, we have kind of just, we never really even talked about it. It just feels natural to not share everything.
Yeah, and so I think like the perfect couple can really be anybody as long as you try. I think that that's the key. Like if you try every day to have a good relationship and serve the person that you're with, it makes it perfect. I don't know.
Well, also, like, I wouldn't want to watch a perfect couple. I'd be like, gag, you're annoying. You guys probably hate each other at the end of the day. So I try to think of like...
Well, it's just because it's not like that. Like, it's never like that.
Yeah.
Like, you don't...
Who would we want to watch? We want to watch people that they're losing their damn minds and their shit isn't together. Because I can relate with that. You know, like, I don't want to watch this couple that's like, everything's perfect because you know that they have problems and they're just not sharing them. Or that they are making it seem like everything's okay.
Yeah, so don't compare your non-honeymoon phase of life and non-perfect relationship to what you see on screens, because it's never like that.
Yeah.
And you can't, what you're seeing now is an edited video.
Like, if you could see how long my leg hair is and that Jackson still loves me.
And if you could see that we fought yesterday in the Maverick parking lot.
We did?
Or not fought, but like had to have a talk.
Oh.
Going to football.
I had a little meltdown.
Yeah, it's like... Yeah, nothing's ever perfect. So just try hard every day.
Yeah.
And who cares what people think?
Also,
like,
we're
that's
happier when we're getting along. So I think that makes a difference. You know, like there's been people I could care less if I get along with, like in my family or friends. But like it affects my entire day if Jackson and I aren't getting along. So I think that's why maybe it seems like we're never fighting or that we have it together. We just function better when we're happy.
Yeah, our fights last like maybe a long one is like an hour. Because I'm like, sit down and talk this through with me. Like she'll like look away and I'll like have to like get down and be like, look at my face.
He makes me make eye contact.
Like, look at me in the eyes.
It works. Okay, replying or at Sophia Berlin, she asked another one. Do you guys want more kids? Love you guys. We're different on this, I think.
We're 99% sure. Okay, 95?
That feels better.
96? 96.5? We're not going to have any more kids.
Emotionally, I changed day to day.
We're not going to have any more kids for at least 5 years, but if I had to bet that this one is our last, I think it probably is.
It's hard. I feel so up and down with that one. Like some days I'm like, because he feels as if, like if it was just up to you, you 100% feel like we're done.
We're definitely not having any more than maybe one more.
Yeah.
But
oh, yeah.
We're probably going to be done.
I'm even surprised to hear you say that we may have one more.
I don't think that we will. Not because I don't love kids or anything. I just don't, like we're going to have to be on the same page to have another baby. And I'm going to have to come around. And I think when we get this next baby, like the next, like 2 years of our lives, we're going to be like, wow, we made it. Like, that was a lot of work. Let's enjoy it now. I don't think we want to go through that again.
It's been like hard for us to wrap our heads around that we're having this baby in 3 weeks. Like we just took our double stroller for the walk tonight with her car seat and Elliot in it. And both of us were just looking at each other like, yeah. Oh my gosh, this is about to happen. Some days I feel like I'm done. I'm like, this is perfect. Like this is what I can do well at managing. I hate when I feel like I'm not managing something well, and I feel like the more kids we have, I wouldn't be as good as a mom or a wife maybe, or like business person. So I feel like if we just kept having kids, it would maybe be selfish to our children because we couldn't give them enough love and attention and help them thrive
like
and
Shay
nourish.
And Casey must be like super dads. because
Or super moms.
I've only got like a certain capacity to like give attention, like.
Yeah. Well, and I know there's people out there who like feel like they can just, I think it's so personal with every couple. I may feel like there's maybe one chance for one more, but I think I'm definitely gonna get an IUD after this baby's out, and
It's gonna be
we won't
5
even
years
think about it for
until
5
we
years.
even talk about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we'll talk about it, and then we'll probably decide no.
Or get another dog.
I'm not opposed to kids, like, yeah, so we've
It's
got a
just
lot of things we want
hard.
to do, like,
It's just really hard.